Back at Bullfrog again on another video. I'm into the furthest point I can get to. That's the boat ramp way back there from my previous video. The buoy field, which I am out past the buoy field as far as that. So obviously Bullfrog Bay still goes quite a bit that way. We're going to drive up around the other side and see if we can see how far it goes. I'd love to see if we can get over to the cut to get some video over there. We camped over there a couple years ago. I want to find the spot and just see how far below the actual water line it is. But as you can see here on this water, from this point, which is right behind this island that didn't used to be here, it was a little island last year and nothing but a year before that. But from this point, the water does slop off, or the ground goes off at a pretty steep angle and disappears out there. This is part of the deeper channel out here and all the way back to the main channel by Hall's back over there. So there's plenty of water for boating and even houseboating. It's just accessing this part of the lake is going to get harder and harder depending on how much the water comes up this year and next year with this mega drought we've been in. But it's you know, I'll snub my nose at the naysayers that have always said Lake Powell never should have been here. Lake Powell should have been drained, or should be drained. You know, we only use this water for recreation because we're upstream in the basins where a lot of this water comes from. But you know, the people downstream, there's a lot of people who count on this lake for their livelihoods, and a lot of people downstream who use this water to drink. And Lake Mead is already low. I mean, if you really could fathom how low this lake is from where it was full and the amount of volume, I mean, just what I'm standing in right now here is only Bullfrog Bay, and it's huge, bigger than a lot of lakes back home. And it's only a small sliver of Lake Powell overall. So when the entire Lake Powell drops 50 feet, I mean, that's just mind-boggling, you know, to drop that much water in 1 year. So conservation downstream and upstream, you know, the more we can conserve upstream gives more coming downstream, and the more they conserve downstream. But if Lake Powell wasn't here, a lot of those downstream people would have been done screwed already. With the amount of water that this reservoir has held and has been able to put down into Lake Mead and downstream, it's, you know, it was great that this thing was able to fill up in the 80s when it did. But, you know, still it's gonna, you know, as it overflowed these banks and went up, it's gonna start draining more exponentially as it hits these main channels, because, you know, it's gonna be getting to the vertical walls, you know, and then it'll drop down because it just doesn't have, it's not covering the area that it used to. I mean, you can see the watermark across over here used to be way up those banks, in the not even the distant past, you know, a couple of years ago. Like I said, over there that went over to the cut. Well, my camera's going out of focus because of my finger, but the cut went through that way over to Hall's Bay. You know, I don't know, the water had to have been 100 feet higher then. I never saw that. It was the cut was already gone by the time I got here. The Castle Rock cut on the other end of the lake was there still last time I was there, but it's well below level now too. And it's one of the reasons I'm making these videos is I've had people comment and say, well, I've seen the lake on Google Maps, there's plenty of water. It's like, well, Google Maps isn't updated. It would blow your mind if you saw an updated map.